For today, I'll be talking about morphemes. So especially if you are a major in English, yung morpheme talaga, it's never absent, you know. But I've always had this confusion about this one during my time. And so that's why I did, more research about it. And so I can better explain it to you para naman kahit anong klaseng tanong ibigay doon, you're still able to answer. Okay? So ano nga ba yung morphemes? I'm sorry about my voice. I am not very physically well. But anyway, so if we say morpheme, it is the smallest linguistic part of a word. Smallest linguistic part of a word that cannot be further divided. Pasensyahan ng isang that. So again, the smallest linguistic part of a word that cannot be further divided. So hindi na pwedeng hatiin kasi kapag hatiin mo na, it will not make sense anymore. So yung pinaka maliit na linguistic part of a word, okay? Yan yung morpheme. Yan yung pinaka-ugat or pinaka-definition niya. So for example, here we have the word unbreakable. Unbreakable. So kapag tinanong doon, ilang morphemes ba meron ang salitang unbreakable? So we will answer 3. Okay? So isang morpheme yung un, isang morpheme naman yung break, isang morpheme naman yung able. Unbreakable. Okay? So again, sa salitang unbreakable, there are 3 morphemes. So yung un, morpheme na yan. That's the smallest, okay? Na hindi mo na pwedeng hatiin. Yung break, hindi mo na pwedeng hatiin. Yung able, hindi mo na pwedeng hatiin, okay? Yan yung pinaka-ugat or pinaka-definition ng morpheme. All right, I hope that is understood. Now, let's proceed. Comment your answers. Root words are called what? So, eto na. So, kadalasan sa board exam, tinatanong yung mga ganito. Kasi yung morphemes, it has different types. Okay? So, answer this one. Ano nga ba yung root words? Or do we call them free morpheme, bound morpheme, inflectional morpheme, or derivational morpheme? You can comment your answers in 3, 2, 1. Ma'am, nagmamadali ka. Not exactly. Yeah, well, again. So, sobrang daldal ko kasi talaga as a person, but I'm trying to lessen that one. So, let's just focus on the discussion, okay? So, kapag root words, guys, sagot natin dyan is a free morpheme, okay? Free morpheme. Now, ano ba yung free morpheme? These are the independent words. So kapag independent, ibig sabihin nakakatayo sila mag-isa. Okay? So even if nag-iisang word lang sila, you're able to understand what they meant. That is a free morpheme. For example, yung salitang cat. Alright? Pwede mo bang hatiin yung word na cat? No. But are you able to understand what is that? Oo. Right? P. Book. Run. So it's all the same. Pwede mong hatiin, no, hindi mo pwedeng hatiin at naiintindihan mo sila. Independent word, okay? So always remember, root words are what we call the free morpheme, okay? Hindi sila nakadepende sa kahit anuman para mabigyan sila ng definition. On their own, they have a definition na, okay? So free morpheme. Now we have another points, okay? Anyway, comment your answers. Prefixes and suffixes are called what? Ano naman yung prefixes and suffixes? Do we call them free morpheme, bound morpheme, inflectional morpheme, or derivational morpheme? You can comment your answers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so kapag mga ganyan naman, prefix or suffix, we call them bound morpheme, okay? So, iba yung bound morpheme sa free morpheme. Kasi di ba nga, yung free morpheme, it is independent, right? Independent yung free morpheme. Kasi nga free siya, di ba? But if you say bound morpheme, they are dependent. They cannot stand alone as a word, okay? So, dependent sila. So, for example, ng bound morphemes ay yung mga salitang on, yung ed, ing, er, So, mga bound morphemes sila. So, yes, they are a morpheme, but on their own, they do not mean anything. Kailangan nila ng root word or ng free morpheme. Okay? Again, free morpheme, independent, maiintindihan on their own. Bound morpheme cannot stand alone as a word. Okay? For bound morphemes, we have two types actually. So yung first type natin sa bound morpheme, ito na yung tinatawag natin inflectional morpheme. So this is added to a word to indicate grammatical information such as tense, number, or case. So for inflectional morpheme, from the word inflectional, it doesn't change the word that much. So for example, kapag sabihin mong dogs, so yung S dyan, that is the inflectional morpheme. So it doesn't change the word much. It just indicates na plural siya or maraming aso. Pero aso pa rin naman yun, right? So same with the ed, ing, apostrophe s. So it doesn't change. Okay, there is just grammatical information, but it doesn't change the grammatical function or it does not change the meaning of the word. It's still the same. Okay, it's just may konting na inflect lang. Okay, inflectional morpheme. Now, yung second type ng bound morpheme, yan yung tinatawag natin derivational morpheme. So this is added to a base word to create a new word with a different meaning or to change the part of speech of the base word. So dito, meron nang nagbabago. Okay, from the word derivational, nagde-derive na yung word when you add the derivational morpheme. So for example natin is yung ER. Diba? So dito, if you say teach, it's a verb, diba? But if you say teacher, it becomes a noun. So it changes meaning. It changes, okay, the part of speech. So for example, if you say knowledge, knowledge is a noun. But if you say knowledgeable, dinagdagan natin ng bound morpheme na able, that becomes an adjective, okay? So again, inflectional morpheme, nag-inflect lang konti with a grammatical purpose or yeah, may konting change lang, but it doesn't change the word. Derivational morpheme, it changes the word entirely. It can change its meaning or the part of speech of the base word, okay? So again, ano yung independent word or the root word that is free morpheme, okay? Dependent or the one that cannot stand alone as a word or the one na hindi natin maiintindihan if hindi siya connected to a root word. Yung dependent, that is bound morpheme, okay? Ano yung dalawang klase ng bound morpheme? We have inflectional morpheme and derivational morpheme. So yung meron kang dinagdag but it does not change the meaning, that is inflectional. Pero kapag na-derive mo or nabago mo yung meaning, that is derivational, okay? Now let's do some application. In the word unfriendly, what type of morpheme is the prefix un? Is it free, bound, inflectional, or derivational? So if we will do elimination, tatanggalin natin yung free morpheme kasi yung un, hindi naman siya nakakatayong mag-isa, right? Hindi naman siya independent. So we are left with these three. We can answer bound morpheme directly. But guys, remember this in the board exam, if you have a more specific answer, yun yung piliin mo, okay? Kasi if you choose bound morpheme, magiging unsure ka, di ba? Kasi posible naman either one of these, right? So, since may mas specific na sagot ka pa, we can also remove bound morpheme. Na ano ba yung un? Is it inflectional or derivational? So here, kapag tanggalin natin yung un, yung salita is friendly, right? Ibig sabihin, it's positive. Napaka-friendly niya. If we put un, nababago ba yung meaning? Nababago ba yung word? Yes. Kasi kapag unfriendly, hindi na siya friendly, right? So, what did un do to the word friendly? It changed the meaning entirely. At ano yun? Kapag nabago mo yung meaning entirely, na-derive mo yung meaning, our answer is derivational morpheme, okay? Derivational morpheme. Kasi from friendly, naging unfriendly, right? Kahit natanggalin yung li, iba na naman yung word, right? Unfriend, right? So, ganyan ka-powerful yung morphemes, right? So, kahit na konting changes lang, mababago mo yung meaning entirely, right? That's why in taking exams, it's very important na magaling ka sa English. Kasi, the ability to understand the language, it will also give you the ability to understand the question. At kapag naintindihan mo yung question, it's easier for you to find the correct answer, no? Paano mo masasagutan? Mahirap na nga yung question tapos hindi mo pa maintindihan yung English. So, you should work on that, okay? Next one, let's try. Marami pa pala akong tanong. So what is the defining characteristic of a bound morpheme? So letter A, it can stand alone as a word and convey a complete meaning. Letter B, it can only be attached to the beginning of a word. Letter C, it requires the presence of a free morpheme to convey meaning. Or letter D, it changes the part of speech of the base word. Comment your answers in 3, 2, 1. If we do elimination, letter A, is it correct ba? It can stand alone? No. Yung can stand alone or yung independent, that is the free morpheme, right? So this is wrong, 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 wrong. Do I have pen here? Anyway, letter B, it can only be attached to the beginning of the word. Hindi naman, right? So for example, yung, ano ba? Yung Lee, sa friendly, right? Hindi naman yan sa beginning. You can put it at the end. In fact, you can put it in the middle, right? So also no, we can remove letter B. Letter C, it requires the presence of a free morpheme to convey meaning. Tama, kasi dependent siya. So okay yung letter C. Letter D, it changes the part of speech of the base word. So tama din naman, but this only applies to derivational na change yung meaning, right? So hindi sa inflectional. Kaya lang, yung tinatanong natin is yung bound morpheme in general. So letter D also does not answer, parang 50% lang. So yung pinaka-sure natin is letter C, okay? It requires the presence of a free morpheme to convey meaning, okay? So kapag walang root word, walang free morpheme, wala ring purpose yung bound morpheme, okay? Now let's try this one application. In the word unhappily, how many morphemes are there? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Comment your answers in 3, 2, 1. Our answer is unhappily. So unhappily. That's why our answer is we have 3 morphemes, okay? Unhappily. So yung yan na yung pinakamaikli dyan. Yung happy, yan na din yung pinakamaikli. Yung li, yan na rin yung pinakamaikli. You can no longer divide them. So yung tsaka yung li, they are bound morphemes, okay? Yung happy naman, it's a free morpheme kasi happy on its own, it can be understood. So our correct answer is letter C. So that's it all about morphemes. If you have questions or topics that you would want me to discuss further in an easy way, you can always comment it down, okay? Don't forget to subscribe and follow me, Exams Jenny. Thank you so much, guys.